Hey guys, welcome to the 180 Drum Challenge. In today's lesson, we have Ben Satterlee taking us to the Caribbean.
Reggae.
Reggae, man.
Reggae. Man, so I'm going to be breaking down a couple variations of the one drop.
Okay.
Now, the one drop is the heartbeat of reggae music and was invented by a guy named Carlton Barrett.
Wow. Okay.
Who was the drummer for the legendary Wailers. Bob Marley and the Wailers. Ever heard of him? No, man. Carlton Barrett, just an unbelievably funky Jamaican drummer, and he invented this rhythm. And I don't really know the story. The story kind of conflicts. There's so many guys that swear they were there, but yeah, he invented this one drop. And then his brother, Family Man Barrett, who's still living, Carlton died, but Family Man still actually plays with the Marleys.
Wow.
So these guys had this unbelievable locking rhythm, you know? And then, I heard that he kind of invented it after they accidentally left a pedal on that caused this, because they did one downstroke, and it went, and they said, what was that? What was that? And that was the start of it. So the guy was actually playing quarter notes on the guitar, but that slapback made him...
It's always accidents. It's like distortion.
Right. So it was just a happy accident, but the way it's counted is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's called a one drop because there's only one accent on the bass drum, and then it's on 3. So it sounds a little something like this.
Come on, right?
Yeah.
Wow, it feels so good. So why don't you break down exactly what's happening in that pattern?
Okay, so the bass drum is hitting on 3, as is the cross stick. And then the only thing that's kind of different is there is nothing on 1 at all. We don't come in till 2. We're doing 2 and then 3, and then 4 on the hi-hat.
And what's the pulse you're counting over that the whole time?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah,
Oh,
1, 2, yeah. And so the cool thing is that this is just one of the variations. There's tons of other rhythms you can do on the hi-hat, and we're going to get into some of the snare variations and the kick variations.
Awesome. All right, man.
So on this next one, we're adding an accent with a cross stick on the of 4.
All right.
So the hi-hat's the exact same, but we're adding that cross stick sound.
Love it.
It just feels so good, man. I love playing the one drop. The very first band I ever gigged with was a Caribbean steel drum band.
Wow.
I was in 7th grade.
Get out.
And all I could play was like 2 beats. And I was practicing on like a book bag, waiting at the bus stop. And this guy from the Caribbean named John Gonzalez, just an unbelievable, phenomenal steel drum pan player. Like, he'd actually been world champion a couple of years. He's like, you play the drums? You know, thick Antiguan accent. I was like, yeah. He's like, cool. Well, give me your number, and I'll call your mom, and, we'll see if you can come and play with me and my family.
What?
And so I didn't hear anything from him for like 2 months, and randomly he just called my home phone, because no one had cell phones back then. And he's like, hey, this is John. Come to find out, he lived in the neighborhood. And him and his wife came over, and they met my mom, and they're like, hey, we have this family band. We have a gig tomorrow. Would your son be interested? And I never played anything that wasn't completely just, corn-fed American,
Right. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I go to their house. I'd never even played reggae before, and they taught me a calypso beat. And I learned that, and the next day I just did that for 4 hours at the Ponca City Herb Festival.
Amazing. That was your first gig?
That was my first gig.
What?
With a steel drum band.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah. So this stuff just brings back so many fond memories.
Very cool.
Because, my first real kit I ever had that I paid with my own money, I paid with it doing reggae, soca, and calypso all summer.
This is in your blood, man.
This is in my blood, bro. Like, this is my wheel. I love playing reggae. So every time I get to it, just, all those fond memories just come flooding back.
Awesome. Well, guys, if you want to learn to have feel, learn reggae.
Man, yeah.
Learn reggae because a lot of my favorite drummers, guys that I'm really into, have a reggae background.
Yes.
And they're great at it.
Yeah,
They're great at it.
absolutely. So then, okay, we've already discussed, playing on the 3 and then the. Now we're going to add some ghosted notes, some non-accented side stick sounds.
Okay.
On top of what we're already doing.
Very cool.
So for example, 3, we're going 1 E and. So the E and of 1 is going to be played on the cross stick, and then we're still doing the heavily accented note on 3, and then the 4. So
Cool.
we're just adding that diddle.
Do you want to play it at a regular tempo and then slow it right down?
Sure.
Because the other thing to note is that this stuff's all swung. It's all
Yes,
felt very swung.
very, very swung.
It's
A
just
little bit slower.
right away. I want to listen to some Bob Marley.
Right,
I wanna
right.
put on some tunes. Funny note, we were actually listening to some Stevie Wonder here this morning.
Yes, we were.
Getting our groove on.
Man, Stevie's so insanely funky, and a lot of people don't know how dope of a drummer he is. All the songs
Yes.
in the key of joy, or songs in the key of life, man, that was all him.
Crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah.
Got to be hip to that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And one of my favorite things is to watch guys who don't have necessarily a career playing drums,
Mm-hmm.
to watch them play drums. And we've talked about a bunch of different guys who kind of have multi-roles and are
Mm-hmm.
really influential even in the drumming community, and I love stuff like that.
Well, it seems to me like the guys that aren't doing it as a career, when they do play drums, it's a lot more intentional.
Yes.
They're not
Yeah.
worried about all the superfluous stuff. They're just playing exactly what's needed.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're not playing, even thinking about drums or drummers.
Right. They're thinking, okay, I'm now playing this other thing. What should I do? Not what can I do?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, man. Show us this next groove.
Okay,
Number
so
4.
example number 4. Same as number 3, except for now, rather than the of 4, we're doing 2 notes.
Okay.
One and duh.
Want to break that one down for us a little bit more?
Absolutely.
Amazing. I mean, one way to help, at least myself as I'm listening to this, because I haven't played a ton of reggae, but the first thing I'd hear it as is almost hearing it as triplets. Triplet, triplet, triplet.
Well, that's what it is. I
Let-
mean, because
let-
we're playing a lot of dotted eights, and that's just the first
Yeah.
and third partial of a triplet.
Yeah.
So it is triplet, triplet, ba, da, da, da. And so usually a lot of the fills you're hearing too are triplet based,
Right.
incredibly swung.
Very cool. All right. Give us groove 5, and then why don't you, for fun, throw a little simple fill in there?
Sure, sure. Okay, now groove 5, we're doing quarter notes as opposed to just the 3. So this is still a 1 drop, but we're adding a rhythm called a hot steppers. Now hot steppers is just heavy quarter notes.
Cool.
Boom, t- boom, t- pa, t- boom, t- So it's very similar to that song Master Blaster,
Right.
you
We're
know,
listening
from
to this
Stevie
morning.
Wonder. Man, I love the groove on that song, and this is basically that groove.
Very cool.
Now I'm gonna add a fill to it.
We are in Ben's wheelhouse, folks. We're there. Sounds great, man. That feels awesome. Anything else to mention when it comes to the feel of this? Like, give us some different artists that'd be really great to listen to and to become hip to this.
Bob Marley and the Wailers, Peter Tosh, Burning Spear, Bunny Wailer, anything he did. I mean, just Yeah, I mean, and even also listening to the newer wave of the Marleys. I mean, Ziggy Marley has pretty much taken over the mantle from his pops, you know, and then Damien is kind of tanking it, and he's gone more the dancehall route. I don't know if you know this, but there's a style of Jamaican rap called toasting.
No, I didn't know this.
It's almost like a precursor to rap. Like they formed around the same time. Like what Kanye West does, where he kind of raps melodically. That's
Right.
toasting. So Damien does that. So when you're listening to some of his stuff, it's the same kind of rhythms, but he's rapping melodically. Not quite singing, but
Yeah.
not quite rapping either. It's really funky. So he's another one you should definitely check out. Yeah, just listen to any dancehall music, and you can hear the roots of this stuff.
The amazing thing that I think is so caught in this culture is that this style of music is played with people every day. These guys are out playing,
Yes.
and they're playing for not a ton of money, which is tough. I mean, even when I was in Jamaica, staying at a resort, some of these guys are getting paid pennies a day, and
Yeah.
they're such great musicians, such great dudes, but they live and breathe the culture every day.
Yes.
And there's like this real authenticity where, like, think of how long one style has been so influential in a culture. Where else
Man.
does that really happen?
It hasn't. I mean, and really, up until Bob Marley, the world wasn't hip to reggae at all.
Yeah.
He is the reason why a lot of the world music we have is so prominent. He was the first world musician on like a global scale that people knew who he was. And then, of course, this new style reggae with this one-drop rhythm was the chariot that he kind of rode out.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, guys, get hip to this. Now everybody knows about Jamaica. Everybody knows about the Marleys.
Right.
But yeah, another thing is that these guys playing these rhythms, this is not what they'd be playing on. They might have a kick snare, a hi-hat, maybe like a little bell.
Right.
And the snare is cranked so high that the rim and the head are darn near touching.
Yeah.
I mean, in heavily muffled toms. I mean, so if you kind of get into that mindset, you know, you can really get like deep into it. I've done it a few times and I've ruined a couple heads in the process.
Amazing.
But like get you like a timbale.
Yeah.
You know, or even like the bell. Like one of the things you could do is some of these ghosted note patterns you could easily do on a bell or a jam block as a
Very
whole nother
cool.
accent.
Love it, dude. Why don't you play us example number 6, and then we're ready to head into practice video, ready to work on some of these ideas. And this is something where, honestly, you just gotta listen to it.
Yes.
Gotta adopt the feel. Reading it's really not gonna do you much good. You gotta feel it.
Yeah. All right. So number 6.
Awesome, man. Why don't you play us out? Let's head to the practice video. If you guys have any questions about this or the history of reggae, you could use Google or you can ask Ben. Awesome. We'll see you guys in the practice video and in the next 180 drum challenge.